Welcome back to Rebound with Resilience, a podcast dedicated to raise your resilience, mindset, and mental wellness. On this episode, we have a familiar face in the content creation scene. You might have seen him do street interviews, mother tongue street interviews, or acting in various comedic roles. He's none other than Jeremiah Chen, the founder and director of a popular local YouTube channel, Tropic Monsters TV. Hey, Jeremiah.
Hey, thanks for the introduction. It was very well done. And thank you. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me on your show, Rebound with Resilience. I'm happy to be here.
No, I'm extremely thankful for your humility. I think you run one of the more popular YouTube channels in Singapore.
Yeah, I think it's good to, help each other out, fellow content creators, and, because we are all doing the same thing, and it's good to create a very positive and vibrant community among the content creators. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, thanks. Yes, for sure, man. I'm just a budding content creator, right? Like really new to it. So definitely looking at some of your content and knowing your journey. I was looking forward to learning from you. You're the first YouTuber, actually.
Oh, man.
If you consider yourself a YouTuber, but the first YouTuber on my show. So
okay, awesome. I'm honored. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So I think I've seen your content, and I think there's one line in that wanted to make me invite you on the show was an interview from the Royal Singapore. I think
yes,
quite recently. Mm-hmm. I think there's one line you mentioned, like if I were to, like my 16-year-old self, right, looking at me now, he actually be proud of me now.
Yeah.
And then I think that was very meaningful when you said that, yes, at least you can say that I've pursued my passion and have this small studio. So that line was really impactful to me, and then I thought I'd write to you, and here we are, I guess.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that line, the interview we did with TRS was even, insightful for myself, because they asked very kind of tough questions that made me question why I was doing it. And, it really draw back to a moment back in time where I was a kid, thinking, because, when we were growing up, thinking what we're going to do after secondary school, we're like, oh, should we do this? Should we do that? And how about money? How about this and that? And then back then me was more or less thinking, I should pursue this passion because I kind of like doing this, media stuff. So I made that decision then, and then step after step, here we are today. And I always thought back, if back then that guy who was deciding what to do after O levels were to look at me right now, will he be proud? And I think, a little bit, yeah.
It's nice, man. But would you have imagined that you would have created a brand or something like that when you were younger? You visualized it, you said that you kind of really knew that media, creating videos was something that you love doing, right?
Yeah, so when back then, at 16, when thinking what I wanted to do, I knew I wanted to go into media. I knew I wanted to do media, but I wasn't really sure whether it's going to be, radio, or whether it's going to be movies, or because back then there wasn't social media like what we have now today. YouTube was at a growing stage. Even I'm not that young back then 16 it was like 2008. So YouTube was just an infant stage. Facebook was like people were just shifting from Friendster to Facebook, that kind of thing. So social media. The only social media content out there was like blogs, like Blogspot and like blog and all that kind of stuff. So nobody even thought of doing making money out of the internet, making content on the internet. So my career choices was like, okay, whether I was going to be radio DJ, whether I'm doing movies, because I like making videos, or maybe even advertising in that sense. I'm very unsure at the point in time. So obviously I didn't really visualize like, right now sitting in this office doing YouTube videos or like Facebook videos or whatever.
Definitely there's some things that we want to kind of talk about today. I think a lot of your fans also, you're probably curious about how the struggles that you face. I think people just see the production, right? The end, like a 3-4 minute video. But behind that, it's like a lot of struggle sometimes.
A lot of bad words and all that as well. Like, hey, hello, can you do that? No, no, yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, of course, I kind of understand it, but at a much smaller scale compared to you. So,
oh no, like, everyone, yeah,
definitely looking forward. I think
different lah, different style. Yeah,
different. Okay.
yeah, different style.
But I think very simply, I think today we're just going to explore like a bit of content creation, like how you got started growing up, why you decided to kind of do full time, and then of course the process of content creation, like what were the kind of factors that led to your kind of small success that you have now, and of course like some of the struggles you face. I think during the interview with TRS, you did talk about a couple of them, so I hope to explore that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, would love to share.
Cool. Yep.
I love talking about myself.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I guess we can kind of begin with growing up and enjoying creating videos. So what was your attitude towards school?
Wow, F school, man. Nah, no. To be honest, I mean, sorry, can I say bad word, right? Yeah, sure. That's right. I never say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't say the first letter. Can be fry school, Anyway. Yeah, so growing up, obviously, as kids, we think about playing and think about, playing sports more than studying. So I think I was kind of neutral about school is, I wasn't like, I totally didn't want to study at all. Or I wasn't like doing very well at school either. So I was kind of like average at school. But during school time, I was more focused on the sports and, even like the experiences growing up, how to go out and stuff. Like school was definitely, studies and academics was definitely the last thing on my mind. But it was, I wasn't bad at it. I wasn't bad at it. Yeah, because of all the tuition and all that also. So thanks to my parents for sending me tuition, of course. Yeah, but I think there was one point in time during O levels, right? I mean, like Sec 4 at that time, my grades was quite bad at this point, like at the starting of the year, because I just wanted to play, don't care about O levels. But I think as Singaporeans, we always have this thought of kanchong, you kanchong about your studies and kiasu, like, hey, my friends are all studying and stuff. So, this exam stress that we have, sometimes I even have a dream at night. Oh, I have to study for O levels. Yeah. Do you have those? Okay. Anyway, yeah, you're like, oh no, I need to study for O levels. How are O levels next week? But anyway, so yeah, I think like it was prelims leading up to O levels that I have like F9 in a lot of subjects, especially like the science and like the combined humans and all that, where I told myself like, wow, I actually have to buck up. If not, I will get F9 and all that for my actual O levels, and then even if I want to do media or what, I can't even get to like a poly course or stuff like that, So I was like, you know what, just try lah, just really try hard for it. So I actually pursued and, stay up back after school, ask the teachers questions and all that. And, I got better. That's where I was thinking, hey, actually not that difficult. Actually school is not that difficult if you try. You ask questions, you really put your effort into learning the chemistry. Although it's boring as hell lah, after really putting in effort and trying, then I managed to get pretty good results for O levels, which I was proud of lah. I think that was the first moment when I thought like, wow, if you actually put in effort into doing something, it can actually produce results.
Right.
So that was really a showcase to me. So I think that was important during my school phase, where at first I don't care, and then there's like, you never try, never know, that kind of thing. And if you don't try, you'll regret. So I actually put in effort and I got results, and I'm like, I think that moment actually made me believe in myself as well. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm a genius. No lah. I don't think I'm a genius.
Don't mind,
you know what I mean lah.
I know what you mean. I mean, I don't mind like cutting a little bit, because I think a lot of students, right, like they just don't like school for whatever reason. I think it's kind of like a cultural shift that's happening now. We're trying to focus more on like experiential learning and these kind of things, right? But a lot of it is still very much based on like dry content, memory, and everything. But I guess I always tell students that like what you mentioned, right? It's actually the intangible experiences and knowing that you put in effort. Then at the end of the day, there's a certain result that comes out of it lah.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear from you that you kind of, that was a memory that kind of anchored you that
Yeah.
in work. In future, of course, now you're running a business, right? Like you need
Yeah.
to actually put in the work to see the production.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, all these experiences actually helped me in
Mm.
my life, not just like results, like show, hey, I got a result, It's more like, oh, I have developed the self-belief
Yeah.
and this idea, if I put in effort, there will be results. And I actually, somehow or rather, it helps me in my daily life and things that I go through.
When did entertainment creating videos started coming? Were you from like Sing by any chance?
Yeah, I was from Maristella actually.
Mary Stella, the uniform
Maristella.
similar. So I looked at the photo.
Right.
Mary Stella.
Yeah, Maristella. But no, Hai Sing is actually Maristella in Chinese. Hai Sing, like
Okay.
yeah. But there's another school called Hai Sing Catholic. But
Yeah, Hai Sing Catholic.
Yeah, there's different.
Okay.
Yeah, Maristella Secondary.
So you were there, and did you enjoy like were you like the clown? Like the clown already? Like entertaining people. Were you like the class clown entertaining people?
Yeah. I was born a clown with the makeup on and the red nose. My mom was like, "Hey, my son is a clown." Nah. The doctor is like, "Oh, this is a clown." No lah. Okay, so I think ever since the kid, just somehow or other have this I think I just have this sort of characteristics of so-called entertaining, even in primary school, started like primary school to secondary school. But I think it's more on like personality, like, I'm more like a happy. I remember like people always told me before, hey, you very happy-go-lucky. Like when I was younger, I remember this memory, like when I was younger, like probably, hey, you are very happy-go-lucky. I was like, what the hell is happy-go-lucky, man? Like, I'm very lucky. I didn't go buy Toto lah. I don't know. Like, I remember some people telling me this before, and like people telling me like, oh, I know I have a cheerful face, like, I like to smile, that kind of stuff. So I think it's always it's like an inbuilt, not inbuilt clown lah, but inbuilt cheerfulness lah, I guess. So I think that rubs off like when I think of certain ideas and all that. I kind of think like, oh, this will be funny, this will be entertaining, and that kind of thing.
You transitioned into like after O levels, so like you did O levels, did well, but after that you went to study overseas, right? I think New Zealand.
Yeah, yes, correct. So after O levels, actually I was okay. So one part of me, I wanted to do media. I knew I wanted to do media, but just another part of me had a thought, say, actually I want to be a vet. I don't know why lah, but at that time I'm thinking, hey, maybe I want to be a vet because I like animals. I mean, it's a like young, you like animals, and you say, oh, I want to be a vet to work with animals. So, but at the time, my dad was working in New Zealand.
Okay.
My dad was working in New Zealand, so I thought like, hey, since there's this opportunity, why not I just try lah. Just go and jump on this opportunity and go for it. And just go and try studying there lah. And then maybe also another thought is like, oh, quite cool, study overseas and stuff. So yeah, my dad was there, and then I went to join him to do high school. It's like pre-U. It's like pre-U. So because down there they don't have like JC or like poly. It's just like they all the way secondary school until like J1, J2. Their system is different lah. So I went to do the 2 years of high school there, which is equivalent to the J1 and J2 here lah. Yeah.
You did film, right? You did study film or directing or something, yeah.
Yeah, so after my first year in New Zealand as a high school student, when they asked me, okay, what subjects you want to take, then I took, down there they call it the Asian 5 lah, which is like, which is, for us is normal, which is like maths, biology, chemistry, physics, and English. They only have 5 subjects only. Yeah, it's already the Asian 5. Like all the
really call it Asian 5.
Yeah, I mean like, because they have actually not just these subjects, they have so many other subjects. They have media studies, they have classical studies, they have really different type of studies. So my first year there, I took these 5, and then I was like, oh man, actually I had a chance to take other subjects lah. So I dropped chemistry. I don't know why. I just went to do some PE or what lah. Yeah. So after the first year, my second year, I was like, okay, now I have the chance. to do other subjects. So I took media studies, classical study, all the kind of humanities kind of subjects lah. So yeah, I think that was more, I explored more of the art side during that second year. But anyway, so during this time, I was also exploring my options. I think during my second year, I already decided, okay, I want to do media. And the bad thing is like, okay, nah, I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay.
So in the second year, I was like, okay, I want to do film. So I picked up some courses during like the school breaks at like film academies. They're having this like courses to help students decide whether they want to do, to go there after their high school lah. So I did these courses, just try here a bit. So I was pretty decided, okay, I want to do film, like media, film making. And then, as all Singapore males have to go through NS, I came back to Singapore for NS for 2 years. And then I went back to New Zealand to do a film course at this school called New Zealand Film Academy.
Okay.
So that was when I really honed my skills and explored the whole spectrum of production, from pre-production to production to editing and post-production, everything, like even like how to pitch ideas and everything. So yeah, it's not a long course. It's just a 4 months, few months course, but it was enough for me to understand the industry and to know a bit of everything. So until today, I still use that education that I learned in what I do today. Because but more importantly for film and like production is more on the hands-on application in like every day, like we actually do. So I think just touch, learn a bit here and there and then go and do. I think it's more, unless you really want to be really technical, like you want to talk about being a director of photography, or you want to be expert, like very focused in like lighting and stuff. But for me, I always knew that I wanted to be like director, a director and like script writer, So I think I always thought like, okay, those things I can go and learn myself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's nice to kind of hear that like you took something that may not be very inverted commas conventional, but you kind of knew that your future career is kind of linked to that. So you enjoyed lah. I believe you enjoyed the studies.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the studies, learning filmmaking, and I was like, I can't wait to apply this. And during that time, there was already YouTube and all that. YouTube was still kind of early, but already growing already. Like the YouTube channels and all that were just starting. It was like 2013, 2014. So I was like, okay, maybe that was when I was thinking, maybe this is what I can do, like YouTube and like Facebook or whatever. That time don't have Facebook, but like YouTube videos and all that. Yeah, I was like already thinking about that.
You started the channel actually, right? TMTV was actually started then. I mean, you only went all in, I think, a couple of years back, right? But I think maybe before we discuss like your challenges after you went all in, like just very briefly, right? Like very briefly, like that period, you were doing BD for another company. So you're producing videos on the side just as kind of like for fun.
Yeah.
And just as a form of, because you enjoyed it lah.
Yeah.
So maybe talk a bit about that. And then after that, why you decide to go all in?
Sure. So after I came into Singapore, I was thinking, where do I start? So I knew that if I want to do production, right? If I want to do production, I need capital to buy equipment. I need money lah, basically. I need to buy a camera, I need to buy like a microphone or whatever. So but at the time I already started the channel. I thought of the name and everything, and because I wanted to, very, very excited to use these skills I learned in New Zealand. So I was like, hey, I asked my friends, let's do a video together, let's for fun lah. I thought of some like parody idea of this movie I like. So I gathered all my friends and then we did this parody video. That was our first ever video. I think 2016, if I'm not 2015? Actually, I'm not really sure. 15, 16. I'm not really sure too. But so going back to, trying to come up with a plan, I thought, okay, if I want to start a production company, I need money, right? So how do I make money? Then the first thing that came to my mind was like, okay, I need to do some sales. So because sales is like so-called the fastest way to earn money. So I just picked out a couple of jobs. The first ever job was those like outdoor marketing stuff, like outdoor sales stuff that we stop people. Hey, sir. So actually, that's where I got my experience.
Do the very well.
That's where I get my experience as the insurance agent. Hey, sir, okay, stop, sir. Actually, because I actually was that guy. I was like, sir, do you want ang pao? Like, I actually ask people, you want ang pao? They're like, hey, but first, huh?
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so that was a real experience for me. Like, I actually try to give people ang pao, then they don't want. They're like, oh, but I need to first tell you something about this. Then, yeah, so after that, I did BD for another this company. Yeah, after that, but I kind of changed companies a bit here and there, but I was learning the sales aspect of business as well, which is a very good skill that I apply to my work today as well. So I don't regret wasting time, go and do other stuff. But there was a point in me when I was thinking, because one thing after another, you keep going on, and then you kind of stuck down this road of motion, right? This motion of habit. Then there was this point I was like, I wasn't happy. I was thinking like, hey, actually, I told myself I was gonna be like doing videos and film and all that. Then what happened to me? I'm like corporate sellout now. No, not corporate sellout lah. But I was kind of going straight off to the path, and I felt unhappy lah that I wasn't true to my word. At first, I say I'll just earn the money and then go and do what I want to do. But after going this path, I just kind of kept going. So I decided like, okay, you know what? Time to stop this road and then go back to where I was originally lah. This path that I was taking. So then that's when I invested in more equipment. I really invested a bunch, like camera, everything lah. And then call back my friends, say let's do a YouTube video. Then we did more videos from there. And then, but at the start, I wasn't so-called serious. I was still kind of like half on two sides. I was still like half on two sides. So I was just doing one video a month, or one video every few months. And at the time, it was also hard to think of ideas because like half like you're 50%, like don't know where I was gonna. Well, you want to do this or you want to do that? But I think it was in 2016. It was 2016 that I told myself, and like sort of towards end of 2016 that I told myself, hey, you either go 100% or you don't do it at all lah. You have to put in all your focus, right? You cannot just like half.
Okay,
sure. So half ass lah. Yeah. So I just drop everything and then go 100% 2016.
Now we're going to talk about that because I'm very curious to know, like, when you go 100% in something, you always have challenges, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think beyond, of course, inverted commerce, fame or recognition, I think you probably get recognized here and there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, a bit lah, not everywhere lah, here and there, yeah.
But what is, beyond kind of like, people kind of see content creation as, youngsters now, they go to schools, they want to be like YouTuber, I want to be this, I want to be that. I think that kind of influence that they like the influence or they see it as something that is kind of glamorous. Yeah. But I want to explore like, what are some challenges in content creation that people don't see. I know there are a lot, but maybe we talk about the most, kind of the ones that are most prominent for you.
Yeah. Like talking about starting out or like now?
Maybe starting out first.
Starting out, okay. So I think for content creation and for content creation in this day and age, it's more than just picking up the camera and just doing what everybody is doing. Yes, you can do that. I mean, that is like the whole TikTok foundation, right? Following trends and all that. But for me, when I was starting out, I always thought of how to be unique, how to stand out, because everyone's just doing the same thing, right? And at the time when I was starting out, it was already kind of late, like 2016, kind of late to the game. All the bigger YouTube channels we know of today, they started 2012, 2013, kind of, and they already did everything that there is already.
Yeah.
The 10 types of NS guy, 10 types of friends, whatever. They already did everything there. So if you want to go and do 10 types of NS guy, it's like, hey, what the hell? Everybody do that already. And you will never break through in that sense. So I think from the start, that was my biggest challenge, how to stand out and be unique, where we still have this kind of value in our content lah. So yeah, but the ideation stage is always tough. How to come out with something unique. Sometimes you come out with something too unique, people also like, hey, what the hell is this? Like they don't understand, or like they think it's weird, or like what are you trying to do, that kind of thing. So I think finding your brand and finding something, your USP is what is difficult at the start. But once you find that something, right, and people catch on to it, they're like, hey, I kind of like this. And then that's where you can really grow from there. Like, okay, people like this style, people like this character, people like this content that I do. So I work from there and then create the next based on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing that. I think there's something that personally as a creator, I'm also budding creator, I'm trying to find that uniqueness that people see. But what was that for you? I kind of get a sense in a way, because I look at some of your content, right? But like, what if you could kind of put it into words, right? Like, what was that for you? Your unique.
Yeah. So at the start, where I think our first ever like real viral kind of content on Facebook actually was the documentary style videos that we put out. So if you really go and see our videos, there's this Bing documentary and the Alien documentary that it just went crazy on Facebook. Yeah, so for me, I was really thinking, okay, like everyone is doing the 10 types of whatever, and they're still doing it, by the way. So everyone doing the types of thing. I was like, hey, we can be better than that. Singapore content is not just about 10 types of, Singaporeans. So I've always been a fan of documentaries, like watching documentaries and, like those Net Geo, like Planet Earth or whatever. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so actually this like Planet Earth, like this type of documentaries, like Sir David Attenborough will be like narrating like, as we can see here, that kind of thing. So at that point in time, I was thinking, hey, we can actually do this style, but you looking at the Singaporean and how Singaporeans act and all that. So I think it's more of like combining different styles and like how you can make it your own, that kind of thing. So yeah, so I was thinking it would be really funny if we had a documentary on Abeng's lah, so we did that whole thing, and yeah, it just took off.
In fact, until now, so like you said, right, like a lot of your content is based off, now it's a YP series, documentary insurance agent as well, but it's kind of relatable because like it plays it up a bit, of course, but that's comedy, right? And then it's relatable because people have similar experiences and they want to share it. Again, I kind of guess I'll ask you about the technical side, shareability and everything later. But in terms of like content, right? Because I think based on what you just mentioned, right? I think it's PewDiePie. I watched the video. He mentioned that how it's very difficult to be a creator or YouTuber because every series you come out, like people in inverted commas get tired of it. And then you're always trying to find like new content, chasing new likes, adapting to the market, everything. And then sometimes you get this burnout or you feel like you lose yourself in the process, right? How do you personally balance between like content you enjoy creating and what the market kind of wants?
Yeah, so I think this is the challenge all content creators have, especially when it comes to monetization as well, because sometimes when you create content, that the clients want, sometimes your audience don't really like. So there's a never ending. Finding the balance actually is one of the biggest challenge as well. That of a content creator. So I guess it's really for me lah. My strategy would be to create characters and create a connection with the audience that is so good that if you create a content based around this character or this series, they will click on it because they want to watch this character or this story. How is it gonna unfold? But yeah, for me, I always look at the entertainment value first before the client comes in as well, because I always look after. I mean, I don't want to so-called sell out lah. Just focus on the client, on the money, the dollar signs, and all that. And there are actually several moments where I got into arguments with clients based on this. There was even a video where after shooting and everything, a street interview, we almost want to release it, right? We do the cut, everything. And then the client say, okay, no, actually the video is too long. We want to take out this. I say, no, you take out all this, then the video is just about your product already. There is like nothing. No, the content is not there. Then guess what? Actually, then they pull out. They pull out this video. They say they know. Okay, then don't want to do it. So this one was a blunder. I mean, I think I don't talk so much in detail lah, but sometimes I really that shows how much I really look after the content and not just about what the client wants. But of course, you have to find a balance, right? You cannot just everything also content, and don't care about the So this is it's a never-ending struggle lah. As you put it.
No, I think you are doing quite well, like the way you integrate stuff into the street interviews. I was going to talk about the street interviews. That's kind of also one of the things that you're known for, quite strongly, right? The street interviews that you do. Those are the content that kind of get more traction, engagement on Facebook, especially.
Yeah, and it's a very good way to, so-called connect with the audience, because they kind of see themselves in the videos sometimes.
And how did you was that? I'm curious to know about that. So like, do you just wake up one day and say, I'm going to do Malatang street interviews? How was that? How did that come about? And do you have any fear initially while going out there and talking to people? Or was it naturally like something you're good at?
Yeah. Okay. So our first ever street interview, right, is we go and test people mother tongue, but not like, oh, what's this word, what that word. It's more of asking them a question in Chinese. So actually the whole branding or the whole idea of this concept actually evolved over the years. But the first ever video came about as when I was watching TV at home, and then I watched Chinese news. Because my mom watches Chinese news, and then I watched the Chinese news. To be frank, I mean, I just put out there. I mean, everyone knows also my Chinese is subpar my Chinese sucks basically. So I was watching this Chinese news. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I was like, huh? I mean, sometimes got one or two words that like, hey, I know that word, but not really. Most, I think 90%, I have no idea. I was like, huh? I asked my mom what they're talking about. So I look at that and I kind of base it on how I can make it a content. So actually a lot of the ideas that I come about on the street interviews is kind of like, if I ask myself this, if I bump into myself on the street, if I ask myself this, how will I answer? Or will this be funny? I always base the content from my perspective as me as like the person getting interviewed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if this Channel 8 news person suddenly come to me on the street and ask me some question in Chinese, I confirm lost. I like, I don't know what lah. I would think this is quite funny. So I changed that into I'm gonna do it. So the whole idea was we go on the street and then I prep them in English. So I trick them a bit. I say, okay, so we're gonna ask you a few questions, just answer to the best of your ability. Okay, then they're like, okay, can, yeah, sure. They okay, 你觉得我们then they also lost. They're like, huh? They're like, what, Chinese? Then they're like, I don't know, this is in Chinese. It's a Chinese program. It's a Chinese program. Yeah, then we
Okay.
more of a prank. It was more of a prank at
Yeah,
first.
okay.
But and that one, yeah, that was another viral one. So we did that. We asked people and I purposely phrased the question in very chima Chinese. Yeah,
Sure.
like put in like 成语 and all that.
Yeah.
So it's to really confuse them lah.
Yeah.
And really that exposed the whole mother tongue, in Singapore, like Singaporeans mother tongue.
Nice. Yeah, I enjoy watching.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean I don't want to say what lah, but after that, a lot of other channels also started doing mother tongue, and even like the TV they started doing like teaching Chinese. So I don't want to say like what, and after that video we made it into 联合早报. Yeah, that after that video went viral, 联合早报 did a
feature.
Article. Yeah, they did a feature, and then they wrote like 很好笑 man, don't know this word. They kind of criticize it, like actually it's like very bad that we don't know.
Yeah. No, but it's true though. It's true. Like even for me, if I was in the interview, I'll probably not know a lot of words that you actually talk about. But it's funny, and yet at the same time, it's not funny because like the mother tongue, right? But everyone seems to.
But at the end of the day, people relate because this is us. This is Singaporeans. Yeah, we can speak Chinese, a bit, converse and all that. But if you really come down to the vocab and all the, what is this word? What is pandemic in Chinese and all that? People really. I mean, as much as people on the comments, they are expert in Chinese, but if I ask you on the street, suddenly like, okay, what's the word? Sure, so a lot of people lost, because sometimes that's not our first. I mean, when people speak Chinese, also they just they speak Chinese, suddenly English words come out. Yeah.
That's cool. So I guess closing this segment, I think you talked about like finding a unique brand, and that comes about by, of course, like combining like what you're good at doing. And versus at the same time, like you said, things in the market that people can relate to, they can connect with, they find it funny, and yeah. So I think that's pretty much learned quite a bit from what you shared. I think the next question I want to ask, right, is I think the video as well. You mentioned a lot of times you felt like quitting, or you're not sure how you're going to carry on because there's practicality involved, right?
Yeah.
What were the triggers, and what kept you going?
Yeah, so throughout this journey of creating content, it wasn't easy at first. It's not easy now. Not say now, I relax every day like show. But at the start, I think it's even more difficult because we are practically just doing videos for free. This idea or this concept has never been heard of until social media. Like you just do video for fun. Yeah. Last time people do video got purpose on, like, go and shoot a TV commercial, shoot a TV drama, whatever. So now we just, so a week after week, we shoot ourselves, go out in the hot sun. And definitely it's not easy, production. You have to prepare the script, you have to prepare the short list. Yeah. After that, the production itself under the hot sun, then you take literally the whole day just for a 3-4 minute video. And then the 3-4 minute video, even need to cut, like take a whole day to cut it up. Yeah. So at the start, we just week after week doing the same thing, and sometimes videos they are hit and miss lah. Sometimes now also we do videos, sometimes hit, sometimes miss, and it comes a point when you are questioning yourself. You do for what? Like you go struggle so hard, go walk, stay in the hot sun. Then in the end, like only a few people view and all that. But then comes the passion. The passion is where then the passion kicks in, where you really think that, okay, like we bring back the point just now. Like I already said I was gonna do this. I already said I was gonna do videos and I was gonna entertain people and not say it's impossible to earn money from it. Not say it's impossible to monetize. It can be done one. I mean, yes, I thank the people before me that, kind of show me that it's possible lah. I don't discount that lah, so I see these people are like, hey, if they can, why I cannot? I'm not bad lousier than them, right? Like of course there comes also the self-belief. Like passion is say, okay, I have the passion. Then self-belief, you have to believe I am, as good, if not better than them. Then why they can, I cannot, that kind of thing. So I think all these factors add up, and you just keep pushing on, and then one day when your video becomes a hit, your video or your this certain topic becomes viral, and then it's also a motivation. It comes to motivation, like, hey, you see, hey, okay, what, like, I didn't put in effort, I didn't give up, and I did this.
Cool.
And people start talking about it and say, hey, nice, good job, man. Like, I saw that video, hey, funny. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, all these things just keep adding on. Sometimes there's a hit, sometimes there's a miss, but at times, as time goes by, it gets better.
Sure.
The miss, you miss, but still kind of hit. And then the hit, it hits even more. So you just keep going up, and it's just like one step at a time. But definitely you need the passion, definitely you need the drive and the self-belief.
Sure.
I felt that when I was really, I really talked to myself a lot. Like, hey, you gotta do this, man. Like, come on. Like, also like a bit embarrassing. I cannot give up. For me, it's like, I always thought like, cannot give up. What will people think of me? I give up, Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I also kind of run a business as well. Of course, in other areas, right? I think not in content per se, but I think the same thoughts kind of go through your mind. Very similar. Like when you mentioned to me, right? I'm like, I realized that that's me. Myself. I say that, yeah, I can speak, I can, develop programs. Like someone else, like for example, I work for freelance, for example, for other companies, and I say that I can actually do a better job than them. Then the next question is, how can I then go and find clients in the market? How can I improve myself? So I kind of really relate to that a lot.
Yeah, man. I think it's really, as content creators, is the hurdles that we go through, and it's a hurdle that we must go through to advance to the next stage, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm curious to ask you one question, but I think that will take too much time probably.
What's that?
It's a kind of like fine line. When do you quit and when do you engage in like grit? When do you know when it's time to give up and let go, and when do you know that it's time to push on? I think that's difficult, right? So
yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, there are certain
answer that question. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is a difficult question, because there are times when okay, for me, I set a timeline for myself. Yeah, so I think this actually increases and makes you work harder and increases your mindset. Like, okay, if I don't make it in this certain time, then it's time to call it a day lah. So I think after circuit breaker or during this COVID time was when I was really considering hanging it up.
That's insane, honestly.
Yeah, because at the time, yes, we had the views, we had like a series, like 3 interviews, but when it came COVID time, there was certain internal things that went on also in the company. Somebody in the company left the company. I was left alone okay, just to be frank, I was left alone, and at that point in time we cannot do street interviews anymore. That was like a kind of bread and butter. And then the clients stopped coming in, so income is like close to zero. So I was really left with the question, like, should I just go and work for another company doing maybe also content creation, but should I go and work for somebody else? What am I gonna do? Or should I start a different type of maybe I just thought like, saying, okay, maybe I want to go and do documentary for CNA. Like I just had this thought, okay, maybe I want to go and do documentaries for like a more practical kind of, I have these skills, actually this YouTube thing not working out, so what job can I go and take? So I was considering a few jobs, maybe a YouTube company, another YouTube company, maybe CNA. But I was like, I told myself, okay, I'm going to give myself 1 year, one more year. So from after circuit breaker, I was like, okay, I got, which is around now actually. From then until now, I'm going to give it my extra more. Like, before that I was like, okay, give it my all. But now it's like, give it an extra. I'll just put out all the good ideas that I have, just do everything that I have, because back then I always have good ideas. I say, okay, this idea maybe work. This idea maybe work, but maybe I save this idea when I'm bigger. Then I try. When I'm bigger, then I try. I say, nah, no more bigger than you try. Now you go and push all your good ideas. Now you do everything you can do to make sure you get it there. You get there. So yeah, after circuit breaker, we came out. I know during circuit breaker, I thought of, okay, this some series that I can start, some kind of videos that I can do. So at the point I was like, okay, maybe I'll try like doing like an anime style video. Maybe it will be quite popular. Okay, maybe I try this certain style that I saw overseas, like Americans and all that doing, but Singapore, they're not really doing this, so maybe I can try, but in the Singapore context of course. So I try. I wrote a lot of different things, like different series, different ideas. So after circuit breaker, they say, okay, come, you can go and shoot already. I say, I can go and shoot. Sweet. So I went to shoot the first anime one. Shoot. Do. Edit. And post. Then not so well received. Not so well. But never mind, because I already planned out other stuff that, if to fall back on. So we tried this different series. Was the YP one. The YP one. Yeah. So YP one, we shoot after circuit breaker, we also went to shoot. Then we released it. Then wow, that one hit. That one really hit. I mean, not like crazy like 1 million that kind, but still people liked it and people caught on to it. I said, okay, I'm gonna continue. So this one hit, I'm gonna continue on this while coming out with the other ideas that I had lah. Yeah lah. So it's just one video after another video. Then the YP, the kind of style, like, oh, people actually do like this style. Then okay, let's write a different concept, like the insurance agent one, then do insurance. The insurance agent even more hit. And I was like, okay, this is it, man. We have established like really a new thing. That just kept on going from there. I kept on going. Yeah. And really it kept better, kept going, getting better and getting better.
I mean, I wouldn't have also known, like, people see that, like I said earlier, people see that you are just doing very well, but actually there's a lot of practical concerns behind that.
Yeah. Until today, I think it's still ongoing. Like until now, I'm still thinking if everything failed, I still got more ideas. So actually, I did that overdrive idea process. Actually, helped me produce a lot of different types of styles, new ideas that until now I still haven't explored yet. So, got people ask me before. So I mean, I don't want to sound too cocky or whatever, but I have. Because of that, right? Because of like a point where I really want to give out and coming out with ideas, right? I think now I'm safe to say I have a lot of ideas that if all these don't work, at least I still got a few more ideas. Yeah.
I mean, it's actually a struggle also. It kind of forces you to be more creative. But I think, I think it's cool. People can learn from that. Because sometimes when we face struggles, we just like, okay, let's give up, right? And that's a bit too soon, really, also.
Yeah. Okay, there was one thing. Yeah, maybe I want to share. Sorry if I interrupted you. Yeah, so like you said, going through struggles. Actually, at that point in time, I was really going through a struggle. Yeah, you said like internally, I say, maybe I'm not cut out for this, and also like I'm thinking about practicality lah. I'll settle down, maybe future, buy a house and all that. And say, can I buy a house? If want to continue doing this. I mean, I'm close to 30 already lah. Next year I'm 30 lah. So I'm like. Like how like is it time? But then I knew that through this struggle, through like going low, right? The only way is like up, because it's a wave. As much as like our content goes, like sometimes hit, sometimes miss, sometimes hit, sometimes miss. I knew there's going to be a wave. So when if I'm low, right? If I take steps to work and put in effort, I knew that I was going to go up. I was like, I accepted that a low, I accepted that being low is part of the process.
Right.
So I was like, okay, now I'm low. What can I do? So I take steps, and then really after that, after taking the steps to improve and to create more kind of different content, it really went up and up and up. And now, we are riding. I'm riding the wave lah, going up. And I know maybe in the future I'll have another low. Maybe don't know what happened lah, but I feel like I'm more prepared to face that lah. Yeah.
But I'm very happy for you, man.
No, I mean, not saying like now we are like what lah, like shock lah, but we are doing better lah. We're doing much better.
Still, you have the office as well. Like it's a very nice office in the background.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks. This is our home for the next 1-2 years. Yeah, you should come by next time lah, sometime.
Hey, thanks, man. I love that. I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, sorry today we couldn't do it because recently we've been quite busy lah, and also everything else that is happening.
Yeah, so I think the last question I want to ask on this segment, because I think we're just talking behind the camera. I think that we might need a part 2. So y'all tune in. If you enjoy this episode, maybe y'all can tune in for the second.
Part 2 will be fun. Like I say, I like talking about myself. Nah.
But
I don't know, but it's cool. It's cool because you make me think about the process and all that. So
thanks.
Important yeah.
I'm glad you're able to help them also, because I think a lot of people face similar struggles too. They may not be content creators, but they have their own thing they're doing, right? So like hearing from you definitely helps give them some perspective lah. And that's why we also want to explore more of the factors that help you to get success, building a team, building a business. That's one I personally want to know about. But today, I think we'll just close by talking about 1 or 2 more struggles and how you overcome. And then, you're also tuned for part 2 also.
Yeah, let's go, part 2.
But just closing up, I guess, apart from, of course, the most common concern, like you just mentioned about practicality, right? I think the other things like you shared about people, I mean, you have your supporters, but there are also people that look at your content and say, wow, this guy, how come he can make it? Or it's so lame. Or, whatever they say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So how do you deal with it?
Please, everybody.
Does it affect you? And how do you kind of deal and say, okay, actually that's constructive versus they're just trolling? Like, what's your perception towards it?
Well, I mean, I don't. Well, one thing, my enemies fuel me. Nah, some truth in that.
Yeah.
But it kind of is true because like not really enemies lah, but watching like seeing all these comments and negativity, it actually makes me laugh. It's part of who I am also lah, like making a laugh of everything lah, kind of. That's how I can do comedy and all that. But sometimes I see like they say certain stuff which is quite funny to me lah, like because I know for a fact they are just at home typing it. Then they just say some negative stuff. Doesn't really affect me lah, unless they talk about my weight. But no, I'm not, no, I don't care about they talk about weight. I just take it as more of strength. Like when I look at it, the negativity, it makes me, in a way, you can't please everybody, but also I kind of look at it, have a little laugh, but also take it as criticism. If it's not too ridiculously negative lah, if they say like, hey, why so shaky on the camera? Hey, why? I mean, it's kind of like the style we are going for, but I take it to consideration and we actually do make changes actually. So I was like, okay lah, let's work on this also. Let's not do it so shaky. People maybe don't like. But of course, it's ridiculous. Like, hey, Jeremiah, why so fat? Or why this fat guy? Whatever lah. Of course, those I don't care lah. Maybe I'm going to go for a run, maybe at most. But just take it not so negatively. Don't take it too personally. I think don't take it too seriously. I mean, as content creators, I feel we can't take things too seriously as well, and just kind of take it lightly lah. Take it lightly. Yeah. If you want to accept it, then accept it. If you want to work on it. If you, but don't be too. For me, if I'm too angry with every comment, then sometimes a long time ago, I would want to reply to these comments. Yeah. I was like, hey, what, happy you come let's meet outside. No, I don't know lah. No lah. I won't say that lah. But it's like, there's no point, So just take it as how you want to take it, but don't take it too seriously. Yeah.
Okay. Last question. You mentioned a bit about your parents as well. I asked this because a lot of my audience, I guess, they want to do their thing, but then their parents disagree, or maybe they're conservative. Like, what were your parents' perception of you as a creator? And then how did that evolve over time?
I think to this day they still don't know how it works. I remember my dad asking me about the share button. Like he doesn't even know the concept
Okay.
of sharing. No,
Okay.
like some parents they have Facebook, some parents have Instagram, but my parents know nothing at all. Like really zero. They at max is WhatsApp. So they didn't even know the concept of sharing. Like, huh? What is share? Like you send me or like you send me, I send you. I mean, at least they still can understand WhatsApp, but share on your Facebook page or you share on
Wow.
your stories or they have no concept. So yeah, I mean, I just do the best that I can to explain to them, what is this, what is that, how it works, and how to earn money. But just take it that they won't be able to understand fully everything because it's not their generation. This social media thing is new and yeah, but I think over time it's just proving to them like, hey, see, I think my first ever proving, I'm not really proving, but show that we do make an impact is the 联合早报 thing. I told you, right? So after that video we make it on 联合早报, I actually go and cut out and laminate it. Then I was like, hey, see, I'm on 联合早报. Even though it's not like it's a bad article lah, they kind of saying like all that, but in a sense we do make the headlines in that sense, yeah. But I mean, monetary terms, of course, that is their primary concern. So the monetary thing also proved to them that, hey, see, we have clients, we are working with clients. I think over time, they will learn to accept, what you're doing is serious because I'm putting effort. Yeah, I also show that I'm putting effort lah. I actually work. Not just like every day stay at home, use phone. Because maybe that's what they thought. Like every day just use phone and video, use phone. But if you really put effort, really go out there, shoot. I think over time they also see like, wow, my child is putting in effort and serious into something. Okay. So maybe let's see, give it a shot. Like, oh, got client, got money. Okay lah, not bad lah, not bad lah. Oh, my son or my child can earn money from this. So I think over time lah, I think it's more of a patience and yeah.
You said also I think one time there was a friend that sent your mom a video.
Yeah,
it was you inside.
Yeah, no, actually it's not my friend, it's her, like my mom's friend.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, so I'm saying her friend.
Yeah, it's quite funny because she's in some like group chat. Then they send the Singlish versus English video we had. Then they sent her and she was like telling them, oh, actually that's my son. So I think I don't know how I don't really know how she felt, but it would have been something like, hey, somebody sent my son's video. So I guess from there also she felt at least if we're not making money, at least we are famous, that kind of thing. Yeah.
But I guess what advice that would you give to like probably people in similar situation, the parents don't understand a lot of situations, right? Especially now that there's so many new things coming up, right? Like parents can't understand everything, but like for the kid, for the young person, they really, really enjoy doing it. But they always argue with their parents. Like what advice would you give them to kind of do their own stuff, like be respectful but do their own stuff, like you said, proof, give their actions. But other than that, is there anything else? Probably end with this.
Yeah, I think I mean as like any other businesses, you need a business plan, right? And just treat like your parents as like an investor to your business. Like you show them your plan, say, okay, I'm gonna start being a TikToker, then you show them, okay, from now until maybe September, I'm gonna grow my following, and then they will ask what is following. It's like, oh, okay, it means people follow me. They like be serious about it and like kind of explain to them what these followers can mean for your future. You say, okay, so in this day and age, social media is based on like numbers, data. So if you have more followers, these followers can be converted into monetary terms, like a product want to advertise. So like I think like explain to them in a very serious and like adult, and speak to them as an adult to adult, like not just like you don't know lah, you're old boomer, don't know about making videos, this one can earn money one lah. I think a lot of people, the more you act that way, then you're more like the parents are like,
Correct.
like thinking like, hey, he's just a kid, that kind of thing. Like, you don't know what is he doing. But if you explain to them like a business standpoint, like, okay, so we're gonna create this video. Although these videos look a bit silly, like, but this is what people nowadays want to watch. So I make these videos and then grow my following, grow the base, and then by this time, I will get this sort of income, blah blah blah, like explain to them. Yeah, I think that's the best option.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Budding content creators. Yeah.
Sure. And it works the same, because I was kind of asking on a general sense, but I think the same principle applies to anything that you do. I like the idea that of treating your parents like investors.
Yeah.
Very good analogy. It's almost as if like you treat the conversation seriously. You don't just like you don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people they go that way. I mean, I have to admit I was a bit like that but now actually looking back, yeah, this is what I can advise, because there's a wrong way to do it At the start I was like, like you don't know that kind of mentality, but actually they are not really criticizing what you do, but more of like their concern. So if you talk to them as an adult, talk to them very seriously, I think they also treat it seriously in that sense.
Right. Yeah. Well, thanks, Jeremiah. I think
thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your vulnerability. It's a different side of you, I guess, compared to the videos that we see. But definitely appreciate you coming.
Yeah, a lot of people they meet in public, they're like, hey, Jeremiah on fire. Then hey, how come you're not like the Jeremiah on fire? Then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, people don't see that as a persona. But please, of course, your follow, definitely go and check out Jeremiah's stuff on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram as well. I'll link it up. And stay tuned for part 2. I think Jeremiah is very kind to do it. I probably won't be
not kind. Friends. Yeah. It's good to make friends.
Episode, but it will still be substantial. I just want to talk about, some of the things that has helped him to build his business, people management as well, building a team, and maybe some fun questions. So stay tuned to that. In the meantime, you all can subscribe on YouTube, or of course on Spotify for shorter episodes, bite-sized content. And we'll see you next time.
Shout out Rebound with Resilience. Follow them on YouTube, Spotify, and really good talk with you, Kevin. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to part 2.
Thanks. All right, see y'all.
See you guys. Bye.